Collector boosters can be some of the most exciting yet confusing booster types to open, with every slot having a different list of possible cards and variants and treatments, and some of them appearing in some boosters while some variants only appear occasionally. So let's talk about exactly what's in a collector booster in the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. We're going to break it down slot by slot starting from the front of the pack, so let's jump right into this. Starting off, you are going to get a foiled double-sided token. This will be any token from the set, but it will be double-sided and both sides will be foil. This is something we see in pretty much every collector booster, so there's nothing that crazy here. Following that up, you'll get a foil full art land just like most other collector boosters, but with Ixalan you're getting these resort style ones, so they look really fancy, and they're some of my favorite lands we've seen in recent sets. Alright, now let's move on to some of the actual cards from the set. First off, you're going to get 4 traditional foil commons from the set. Again, these can be any commons and they will just be the normal frame cards, but they will be foil. Following that up, you'll get 3 foil uncommons, just like the commons, but these ones will be uncommons. Who would have thought? Alright, here's where the slots get a little bit more complicated. The next one will be a traditional foil showcase or borderless uncommon. Now this is where it starts to get confusing, because what they call showcase and what they call borderless seems to change from set to set. With Ixalan, the showcase is going to be the Legends of Ixalan frame, which is the ones that look like this, and the borderless ones will be the borderless watercolor dinosaurs or the special guest cards. In particular, 55% of the time it will be a Legends of Ixalan frame, 41% it'll be a borderless uncommon dinosaur, and 3% of the time you will get a borderless uncommon special guest. The key thing here is that it'll always be an uncommon, and it'll always have some sort of special frame and will be foil. Following that up, you will get a traditional foil rare mythic. This will be just a normal frame, but foil rare mythic from the main set. Again, it won't be anything, borderless or extended art or the Legends of Ixalan frame. It'll just be the normal frames, and it'll be a rare 85.3% of the time and a mythic 14.7% of the time. Following that up, you will get an extended art rare or mythic. These are the cards that have the art that extends to the edges, but not to all of the sides. The other big difference is that borderless cards have different art from their main card, where extended art have the same art, it just is expanded to the left and right to give you a more full picture. Because a card won't have both a borderless and an extended art, there are only 2 mythic rares that have this versus there's 38 rares, so you'll get a rare 97.4% of the time and a mythic rare 2.6% of the time. One more quick note, these are notably non-foil, so you'll never get a foil in this slot and will be the first non-foil card of the pack. The next slot is kind of a confusing one and focuses all around the commander decks. It will be 87.5% of the time a card from the commander decks in non-foil in extended art. Now this can be the new cards from the commander precons that are coming out, or they can be the new cards that are found exclusively in the set boosters, and they can be both extended art and the alternate art, which is something new they're doing this time around, where the face commanders actually have the showcase frames from the set. The remaining 12.5% of the time, you'll get a new card to commander in foil. Again, this is the same rules as before, just this time in foil. So this is our first slot where sometimes it's foil and sometimes it's not, and that's where the rarity kind of comes into it. Alright, the slot after that will be a non-foil showcase or borderless rare or mythic. So it's very similar to the uncommon slot we saw before, but this time with rares and mythics. So it will be a showcase rare 22.5% of the time, a showcase mythic 14.8% of the time, a borderless rare 50.7% of the time, a borderless mythic rare 10.56% of the time, or it will be Quintorius Canned, who shows up in both a showcase and a borderless treatment, and each treatment shows up about half as often as any other mythic would, so about 1.4% of the time in total. Again, that will be non-foil, but it'll always be a fancy border rare or mythic, so that does increase the number of rares and mythics in the pack. Overall, it's kind of a complicated slot, but just know you're looking either at a showcase or a borderless card here. The next slot's a little bit complicated as well, but just know this is the Jurrasic World card, so this will be something from the Jurrasic World crossover, which is 20 unique brand new cards with Jurrasic art characters and art and all of that, as well as some lands in there. This slot will always have at least one card from this collection. Most commonly, it'll be a non-foil borderless land, so that'll be one of the basic lands or a command tower that's double-sided, with one side showing the dinosaurs in captivity and the other side showing them once they've escaped, but that'll be there 43.6% of the time. Then there will be a 36.3% chance that you get a non-foil unique card, so that'll be one of the new commanders or dinosaurs or something like that in a non-foil but still borderless frame. Then 10.7% of the time you'll get one of those lands we talked about before in a traditional foil, and 8.9% of the time you'll get one of the unique cards in a foil frame. So those will actually be pretty rare to find. Then we have a version that is even rarer, which are the Emblem variants of the Jurrasic World collection. These are all of the unique cards except Welcome to Jurassic Park with this weird like foil emblem on it. It'll be found in less than 1% of boosters, and the number is closer to 0.3% of collector boosters, so these are definitely the chase thing to get from these packs outside of something else we're going to talk about here in a second. These are kind of the confetti foil or the surge foil or the serialized cards, the chase thing you're trying to get from these packs. Let's break down the numbers like I do with all these rare to find things. Alright, so based on the numbers at 0.3% of the time, you'd have to open about 333 collector boosters in order to get an emblem card. Now that's not a specific emblem card, that's any emblem card. Now, assuming that you're paying about $18 per booster, which is about the average price of a collector booster, then you'd be paying about $5,994 to get an emblem card from the set. I guarantee you'll be able to buy whatever one you want for less than that. In fact, if you want to get any particular one, you'd have to spend about $113,886 to consistently get it. I say this every time we have something rare that you're trying to chase. Obviously, don't buy these with the intention of getting an emblem card, but if you happen to buy one or two and you happen to get an emblem card, that is really, really exciting, and is how these should be viewed as. They're really fun, but they're not something you should be counting on. Either way, taking a step back, this slot will again be a non-foil or emblem version of a Jurassic World card, although again, these will often be basic lands, so they're sometimes a rare, sometimes not. Alright, and now we're on to the final slot of the pack, but this is the most complicated of all of them, as it's kind of a mix of everything. So it will always be traditional foil, but it will be one of these things in traditional foil. It can be an extended art rare 46.7% of the time, or an extended art mythic 1.2% of the time. It'll be a showcase rare 9.8% of the time, and a showcase mythic 6.7% of the time. It'll be a borderless rare 22% of the time, and a borderless mythic 4.9% of the time, and it'll be a special guest rare or mythic 8% of the time. Now this special guest can be something like Mana Crypt, so there can be a lot of value in this spot. Speaking of money, you can also get a Neon Ink, Cavern of Souls, or Mana Crypt in this slot less than 1% of the time. Again, everything I said about the Jurassic World emblem cards applies here as well. Don't go buying them trying to get these Neon Ink versions, but if you happen to get one, that's really exciting and again, really expensive. So yeah, that is a collector booster for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. You're really searching for those Jurassic World emblem cards as well as the Neon Ink Mana Crypt. There's also some really exciting things like the special guest slots and all of the Jurassic World cards. It's the only pack type where you get a guaranteed Jurassic World card in it, where set boosters it's only 1 in 12 and you'll never find them in draft boosters. So if you like Jurassic World and you want a consistent experience, collector boosters are definitely the way to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content from me now, check out this video where I talk about the brand new type of booster that's replacing draft and set boosters starting in Murders at Karlov Manor, and check out this video where I talk about 10 overlooked cards you should be playing in Commander. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.